are you?
I'm Samir Gupta. I'm a tabla player and a jazz drummer, and I'm here at Tonehammer. I'm helping out my friend Mike Peasley hook up some digital sample libraries of tabla. So, been here for several hours, having a ball.
Hitting drums very slowly over and over.
Yeah, that's right. At every different volume level possible.
Yeah, so
and this is the drums. This is the tabla, and it's made out of wood. You can see there's one continuous strap that binds the whole thing together. You can see it's all wound up at the bottom, tied off here. Tuning is super important to these drums, and you get all that beautiful sustain.
Yeah, we actually used just a tuning, like a tone. I think this one was
just a sine wave to tune to it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen an instrument tune an actual note.
We use this hammer to tune it. So it is this drum particularly has a tuning that is very important to it. This drum here is the bayan drum, the bass drum, and this guy is more of low end and bass.
So you're doing that bend by using the palm of your hand to push in on the drum and
more like this part here, the wrist, kind of the bone here.
Let me see your wrist again.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a little.
Look at that. That's the sign of a real percussionist, a real player.
Dried out wrists.
Big, huge calluses.
Yeah, so bending down in there, it gets that kind of water drop type of effect that so many people recognize in tabla. So, and this one's made out of metal, but you can also get it made out of clay. But the making of these instruments is very, very involved process, and every one of them is essentially handmade. You can't get a machine-made set of tabla yet in this day and age. So, there's quite a bit of labor that goes into these things. Several different kinds of animal skin, and several days worth of building for just one set of drums. So, but that's what goes into it.
And then you tune them by moving these pegs with the hammer.
Yeah, like I can move these pegs up and down.
And that changes the tone.
That changes the pitch, yeah. I'm not going to do it because it takes so long to get it in tune.
Alright. So, real quickly, show me what each of the basic hits are.
Yeah. Tak. Tak is this. Na is on the kinar. Tin is on the inside here. Na is the rim with that wooden attack. Tin is a softer attack. Then tete is like these closed strokes, non-resonant. All these different kinds of strokes are there, right? And then resonance.
And that one's called.
This is called ding. It's like a full-handed big sound like that. This is called tun. Right? This is more full, and this is a little gentler. These subtle differences when you use them in combination,
It's also interesting that each of one of the ways that make it really important to get phrases as opposed to single notes is that the way these interact by muting and unmuting each other and changing the pitch by following one hit with another. And
yeah, exactly. That type of pattern, is slowed down, but.
I can't think of another percussion instrument in the world that is this involved and precise in terms of the different positions, and also the ways that require the player to push their body beyond sort of normal healthy limits in terms of having independent articulation on each finger. And
yeah, I mean, definitely have to work some specific muscles, and all kinds of parts of my arms have been sore for a long time now.
Yeah.
But it's really, it's a speaking instrument, it's very rooted in the voice, and all the things I play I should be able to say as well.
Yeah.
So, like, gena, dhagena, dhatrka, dhagena. Gena, dhagena, dhagena. Dhagena, dhatrka, dhati, dhagena. Dhatrka, dhati, dhagena, dhagena. This kinds of things. Gena, dhagena, dhatrka, dhatrka, dhati, dhagena, dhagena, tin, dhagena, dhatrka, dhatrka, dhati, dhagena, dhagena. All these phrases I say and I play together, you know, and that's how I study this stuff.
So you basically have to talk. And is that how they're often taught from one person to another? Is
Yeah.
Basically, all right, here's what you need to do, and then you...
Definitely. You know, I mean, we're lucky nowadays where there's a lot of information for us to get out there on the internet, and, you know, we can find compositions in a written down form or something like that. But ultimately, the transmission of it through the speaking and the hearing is a critical part, you know? Like if someone writes, dhage na dhage na dha, that doesn't capture the essence of that type of phrasing.
Yeah.
So like those kinds of nuances with the bending and all that stuff, that has to come through in the voice. Dhage na dha. So you have to learn how to emulate the way that the voice ultimately sounds. And so it's an oral tradition, you know, as opposed to a written tradition. So that's the...
But in a weird sort of sense, it's almost as if it is written. Or like song lyrics, you have percussion lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. It is a voice-based thing, you know, and you can write down the notes, you can try and preserve it in your book, but you won't necessarily be able to capture all of the subtleties unless you really, you know, learn it through listening to somebody play it in front of you and get all those details. So, yeah.
Before we
But yeah, it's
move along, let's show us a little bit of a tabla action.
Yeah.
Gupta.
Yeah.
Gupta, and he's our not so resident Tabla Master. He's from New York.
Yeah, well, I was resident to this area for quite a while. So, but now I'm back specifically to work with you guys here at Tonehammer. My pleasure.
And yeah, Sam, you've been playing drums for now what, 25 years?
Yeah, like over 20 years, maybe close to 25. And you know, I started out on drum set, played a bunch of rock and roll music, some heavy metal with this gentleman right standing across from me.
Mine truly.
And yeah, so then I just came to tabla a little later in the game, and now it's become a real serious part of my instrumental. Yeah.
And I think we've covered all the nuts and bolts of this particular instrument.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into these drums. You know, it takes several different kinds of goat skin and you know, one long strap which they cut and thread through the whole entire body of the drum.
What if you mismeasure? Are you screwed?
No, actually, you know, the skin itself stretches, and this also stretches. So I think there's a certain amount of imperfection that kind of is part of the character of each drum. I mean, if you can call it even imperfection, it's just every drum is unique.
Character.
Yeah.
Flavor.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I guess the audio on this record. Oh, I'll splice them together. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to pry out of you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have it printed on the website, but I mean, talk about where people can hear your work.
Yeah, well, online I'm at sameergupta.com. It's SAMEERGUPTA.com. And I play with a bunch of different groups in California, in New York, and those groups get to travel all around the world. So, you know, I'm very lucky to be able to, you know, get to play music around the world for different kinds of people and bring not only like tabla, but also drum set and jazz and improvisational music and all that stuff to different audiences. So,
Sweet.
yeah.
All right. It was good to work with you, Sam.
Thank you. Likewise. I look forward to next time and enjoy all the samples.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
All right.